Good evening, everyone. It's Monday night, and we have a lot to talk about. Big winter storm coming into the region. It's already starting out here in New Mexico. This thing is really starting to get its act together out in Arizona. It's finally starting to slowly eject. It's going southeast now. It's going to go into Mexico, then start coming east. Okay, SBC already has some mesoscale discussions out already for New Mexico, and we're going to get some more tomorrow for the snow. On the other hand, we have to talk about this. Everybody's excited about snow, and that's kind of the forefront of their mind. But there's going to be a tornado outbreak tomorrow across the Gulf Coast. We're talking southeastern parts of Texas, down through coastal areas of Louisiana, southeastern Louisiana, including New Orleans. Talking Baton Rouge as well, over towards Mobile, Alabama as well. Enhanced risk for tomorrow. I'm going to go over risk here in just a minute. On the outside of that, slight risk, basically from Houston, Texas, Pasadena, Texas, Lafayette, Louisiana, Beaumont, Texas, over to Sugar Land, Texas. Slight risk there. Marginal risk up into Montgomery, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Tuscaloosa, Hoover, Alabama. They're under a marginal risk there. Okay, so let's get in the risk. Like I said, there's gonna be a tornado outbreak again tomorrow in these enhanced areas, slight and enhanced areas tomorrow. Okay, all modes are going to be possible. Okay, so I needed to start this video out with that because this is going to be a serious situation tomorrow, and you guys that live down that way need to be weather aware. Okay. All right, here is the tornado risk for tomorrow. You got the hatch 10% area. Significant tornadoes are possible. EF2 or higher in that area with some strong tornadoes. We're talking New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Mobile, Alabama, Gulfport, Mississippi, just south of Houston, down along the Gulf Coast of Texas. Tornadoes possible tomorrow, okay? Have a way to get warnings. Stay weather aware, okay? Now, let's get into this system real quick. Here is the water vapor. Okay, this is basically last night when I was showing you this thing was over Las Vegas, basically, and it went straight south. You can see that turn going straight south, straight south, straight south, and you can see this piece of energy out here. This is basically going to kick it out. See how it, as we get towards later today, mid-afternoon, this thing starts like, okay, I need to start moving. I just need to start moving out of the way here for this other system to come in. And it's going to be a little nudge, and now it's starting to move south and east now into Mexico. And you can see the huge explosion of clouds here and precipitation's falling as well across eastern parts of New Mexico. You see this? See that right there? This thing's really getting its act together. Now I wanted to show you one other thing on here. This is a subtropical jet down here through here as well. This will tap into some of this specific moisture and the Gulf of Mexico moisture coming up. Now if we go to the visible, I want to show you this. Okay, now I know it's dark out right now, but here, let's go when it was actually sunny outside. See all these clouds, these low clouds down in here, banked up against the mountains in Mexico. Okay, it's waiting. All this moisture is waiting, basically already returning, banking up against those mountains in Mexico, and just sitting there waiting for this system to come out. And then it's going to draw all that moisture into this system, and some heavy snows are going to break out pretty rapidly tomorrow and tomorrow night across parts of this area, especially northern, basically from here all the way through northern Arkansas. And then this is going to track basically up through here to create some heavy snows for this region. Okay. Now you're all probably thinking, well, just get to it. I want to see the snow accumulations. Okay, this is going to be my final. Okay, I've got some things to go over with you about this as well. All right, here is my final forecast. I'm not going to change it anymore. If I bust, I bust. Okay, so um, the biggest, I just want to go over this real quick. The biggest uncertainty that I have with this storm will be surface temperatures, okay, across this area. Temps, like, this is how minor this is going to be. Temps 1 degree warmer or 1 degree colder is going to significantly influence snow totals. So, for example, down here, basically, let's say northern Arkansas here, I have used 6 to 10 inches or more. All right. The models have been trending a little bit colder and getting below freezing in this area. This is why those accumulations have went up. All right. Now, in this same area, models are showing anywhere between 30 to 32 degrees during the event up here in this purple area. All right. If the temperatures go to 33, 34 degrees, you can probably cut those accumulations in half. So this is based on latest guidance and experience with other storms, but the biggest thing here is the uncertainty with surface temperatures. So it's basically going to be a nowcast going into tonight. I mean, there's clear skies in Arkansas, southern Missouri, and out east. It's going to be a lot of cooling tonight. The question is, how fast is that cloud cover going to get in tomorrow morning before the sun comes out? If cloud cover comes in this part of the area earlier tomorrow before the sun comes out, temperatures are not going to go anywhere hardly. They'll go up a little bit, but not as much as models have been seeing. Okay. Also, I've been saying this too for about 5 to 6 days. I think somebody in the Ozarks gets a foot of snow, and it's going to be in the Boston Mountains of Arkansas. Okay. They're in the higher elevations, 1,500, 2,000 plus feet. I think they could have a chance to run anywhere between 8 inches to a foot. Okay, those higher elevations up here in northwest Arkansas are really going to get smashed. Okay, now elevations go down just a little bit as you go east, but they also they go down to about 1,000 feet or so, and then they ramp back up here in Missouri, and you get up here to north of West Plains or so, ramps back up to about 1,800 to 2,000 feet there. So, like I said, there's going to be some, areas that get more than this, more than the 10 inches. And there's going to be probably, because the Ozarks, there's a lot of hills and hollers. You could go down the hill, go down 500-600 feet, and then go back up the hill and go up another 500-600 feet within, 4 or 5 miles. And the top of that hill could get 8 to 10 to 11 inches of snow. And you go to the bottom of that hill where the elevation drops down to below 1,000 feet. If you're down in a river valley or something, creek valley, whatever, drop down to below 1,000 feet, you may get half that. You may get 4 or 5 inches. So it's that fine of detail that's coming down with this forecast. Higher elevations are going to see snow faster. It's going to change over faster. It's going to start out as rain, transition very quickly above 1,500 feet, especially in these mountains in Arkansas and southern Missouri. All right? It'll transition faster. It'll start accumulating faster in those areas. below 1,500 feet, let's say 1,000 feet to 1,500 feet, it's going to take just a little bit longer for that rain to change to snow, but it should happen pretty quickly, but not as fast as areas above 1,500 feet. Okay? Lots and lots of little details. And I can tell you right now, someone is going to get mad as all heck at me because you said it's supposed to be 6 to 10 inches. Well, on the other hand, they're not listening to what I'm saying. Okay? They're seeing this map and just running with it. This is going to be a boom or bust scenario, especially with surface temperatures. Okay, like I said, 1 degree difference either way. If it's 1 degree less, you're going to get more than this, what's on your screen. If it's 1 degree higher, 1 or 2 degrees higher than what is forecasted, these accumulations are going to be cut in half. Okay, so that is my biggest concern. This storm is not a slam dunk forecast at all. I'm gonna bust somewhere, and I promise you I will. Somewhere I will bust, and someone is gonna come at me. I promise you. So also out here towards Kentucky, you probably see, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get snow now. This is on the backside of this snow, this storm. Wednesday night into Thursday. Wednesday night, you're going to get snow showers. And then Thursday, there could be some snow squalls that come through. This will whiten up the ground pretty quickly. So I'm thinking a dusting to an inch there with backlash snows. Okay. And some of these flurries and snow showers may get down into parts of Tennessee. And there's been models that have gotten it down as far south as northern Alabama into far, far northern Georgia. Okay. So, with all that being said, there's going to be areas that don't get what you see on your screen. And there's going to be those same areas within 10 to 20 miles of, let's say, your location that get either more or less. It's that fine of details throughout this whole event and through this whole area. Okay, hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you're listening to me on that. But this is going to be a very significant snowstorm, especially for the Ozarks. I know Fayetteville, they have not seen this type of snow, I think, since this type of big snow since 2014, maybe 2014, 2013, something like that. So it's going to be the track is favorable for Northwest, North Central, and Southern Missouri to get smashed. And temperatures are going to be either side of freezing. Like I said, if this area is 33 degrees, I can't stress this enough. If this area goes to 33, stays at 33, 34 degrees, you're going to cut these accumulations probably in half. You're going to go to probably a 3 to 6. Okay, this is going to be very, very heavy snow, huge flakes. We're going to have some thunder snow possible as well. Convective banding coming into this area. Very heavy snow. I mean, these are going to be giant flakes, and they're going to stick to trees, power lines. That's another concern I have is if some of these accumulations come true up here, and like I said, this snow's going to stick to everything. I think we might have some isolated power issues. Throughout some of this area, especially in the Ozarks. Okay, so be mindful of that. I don't think it's going to be a huge concern, but I have to throw that out there. I think there's going to be some isolated power issues, especially if you get this much snow, because this is going to be very heavy, wet, heart attack snow. Okay, so if you have elderly like grandparents or your parents are older, and they're like to shovel their driveway, you might want to have a talk with them about doing that, because that could seriously, there's going to be so much weight with that snow, and they're going to exert themselves more than they normally do, and you're going to have some issues. Okay, so I have to throw that out there too. Okay, hopefully Hopefully, you all understand what I'm saying when this forecast could be boom or bust, because one, like I said, 1 degree either way is going to make or break what I'm showing you. Okay? It could be more. Let's say if the temperatures are going to be less, like 30, 31 degrees in some of these areas, you're going to get a lot more. That's why I put plus on all these. Okay? Now, if it goes over that, you're going to cut these accumulations in half easy. So, that being said, I kept this on the screen for a long period of time. Sorry I talked for so long, but I wanted to show you this. I will post it on the Facebook page as well. Oh, make sure you're throwing a comment in there where you're from. Hit that thumbs up, the like button on this post as well. Share this with your family and friends. Get that out there. And kind of, if you have family and friends, you show them this, kind of explain to them what I'm talking about, how this could either be spot on or you could get over this, especially if temperatures are lower than what is expected, or if the temperatures are higher, a couple degrees higher than expected, you can cut these accumulations in half. Now, the reason why I put forecast confidence is high, I'm pretty certain, I'm pretty confident. I mean, this is going to happen. This winter storm is going to happen. If you looked at some of your national weather services, they've upped amounts like dramatically today to basically what I've had for the past couple days showing you all. So, and then local people, especially in Springfield, Fayetteville, down towards Tulsa, they're showing basically now the same thing I've been showing for the last couple days. So a lot of us are on the same page now, which is good. So, like I said, very, very heavy, wet, kind of like a mashed potato-y kind of, it's going to look like a mashed potato-y kind of snow. Good for snowballs, good for building snowmen. So there's that. Now, let's get into I'm going to get into HRRR real quick. I'm going to show you that guidance, and then I'm going to show you all the models thrown in there together. I'm going to do this pretty quickly. I don't want to keep you on for another 40 minutes like I did last night. All right. I'll show you this real quick from NOAA, the winter storm severity index, okay? Yellow, minor impacts, expect a few inconveniences of daily life, might be some few slick spots on the road. You get into the orange. Let me zoom in here in some areas here. Basically like, Amarillo over towards Oklahoma City. You get towards Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers, Harrison, Mountain Home, up towards Springfield, West Plains, get up towards St. Louis, through Illinois, Decatur, Champaign, Lafayette, Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, Indiana. You get up towards far northwestern part of Ohio. Moderate impacts. So expect disruptions to daily life, hazardous driving conditions, and there's going to be, let's say, some school closures, might be some infrastructure closures like where you work. Now, this is where I was talking about the Ozarks here, higher elevations. You can zoom in even closer here. Now, let me back up real quick. Can you see this right here? See where it says there's a mountain here. It's 2,400 feet up. Okay. And this is right around, I believe, Jasper, Arkansas. This is in the Boston Mountains here. And they're going to get absolutely clobbered with this. I think there's going to be areas like that get close to it, that make a run at a foot of snow. Okay. Like I said, okay, so we got all these red areas. These are areas over basically 1,500 feet. That's why you have all these red blotches everywhere. Springfield sits on basically the Ozark Plateau, but they are hot. Their elevation is higher. I think 1,300 to 1,500 feet there I think maybe a little bit higher. So this is where the major impacts are going to be. So expect considerable disruptions to daily life, dangerous or impossible driving conditions. They're saying avoid travel in this area if possible. Widespread closures and disruption to infrastructure may occur. Okay? All right, here's all the watches and warning maps. We have winter storm warnings basically from St. Louis down I-44, just south I-44, all the way to Tulsa. Tulsa, um, and the areas just north of this winter storm warning is under a winter storm watch because there is some uncertainty in that area of heavier accumulations. Now, there's also winter storm watch down here in these southern counties, southeastern counties in Missouri. There's uncertainty on how far south some of that accumulation is going to go, and that's why that's there. Now, the purple is winter weather advisories, winter storm watches going all the way up into western Ohio, getting far northern tip of Kentucky. There's a watch out. Now, there's going to be like I said, this low pressure is going to come up, pretty much track through Mississippi, going through basically northern or western Tennessee and Kentucky, and kind of go up towards the Great Lakes. There's going to be bits and pieces of energy that rotate around this system. And Wednesday night into Thursday, you're going to get some snow showers and snow squalls that come through, Illinois, Indiana again, possibly some snow showers down in Missouri, maybe northern Arkansas, Kentucky, maybe into Tennessee as well. And if you get one of those snow squalls to come through, it's going to snow very hard for a short period of time. It'll whiten up the ground, then it'll be out of here and before the next one comes in. All right. All right, I want to give you an example on temperatures. Let's just see how we're trending so far. So at 9 o'clock tonight, this is HRRR. This is saying it was supposed to be, let's just take, for example, West Plains, Missouri, 34 degrees. You got 35 in Branson, 34 in Fayetteville. Get over towards Tulsa, 35, okay? Like I said, temperature, with this snowfall coming in, temperature going to make or break this snowfall accumulation, all right? 1 degree either way. Now let's see what actual surface temperatures are. You've seen, kind of get you a snapshot here of what the model says. And then here is actual surface temperatures at 9 o'clock. The model's already busting a couple degrees lower already. And look at this, like West Plains. HRRR said it should be 34, 35 degrees right now. It is actually 32. It's 32 in Springfield, 34 in Branson, 32 in Fayetteville. The model I just showed you was 2 to 3 degrees warmer. Okay, so that's why I've been saying that models kind of underdo cold air. All right, so this could easily transpire to a heavier accumulation than what I have. It's possible, but it's also possible that my forecast could completely bust because of 1 degree, basically. Okay. Let's go over projected radar here. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Here's South Central. You can see see some of the counties here. Okay, so this is 9 o'clock. This was 9 o'clock. This was, I need to go to the 00Z so I can show you more of this. Okay, so snow's breaking out into New Mexico already. I want to show you this. That's out ahead of it. Reminder, this is not even drawn in. It's just now starting to draw in some of that Gulf moisture just now, okay? And we already have a mesoscale discussion out for eastern parts of New Mexico for snowfall rates exceeding 1 inch an hour the next 2 to 3 hours. at least, okay? I expect more of these going to be issued as we go through tomorrow, okay, and tomorrow night. And there's going to be some snowfall rates that are probably going to approach 2 to 3 inches an hour if you get into these some convective banding, especially in the northern Arkansas and southern Missouri. Okay, take this forward. It's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. See snow breaking out into Texas already, getting heavy at times. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. There's 4 or 5. You got some sleet mixing in as the column starts cooling down, and then snow breaks out. You see that? See how we go from a rain to mix, probably sleet, snow. Another thing I need to mention. See these little, basically there might be some little pockets here that is basically very heavy. You could have thunder sleet with some of this, okay? If it sleets and it's heavy enough, it will coat the roads. It doesn't matter how warm those roads are. Sleet's going to accumulate and pile up pretty quickly in some of these heavier bands before it changes to snow. Okay, and that will slick up the roads really quick. And once that sleet gets laid down and it starts snowing, it'll be a lot easier for that snow to stick on the roads. Okay, especially untreated ones. All right, so here we go. Snow's breaking out basically in the panhandle. Got very, very heavy snow basically up here just either side of the Red River. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. And then this thing really ramps up, and you can see how quickly it starts changing the snow up over here in Oklahoma. This is very, very heavy snow. You can see almost the convective ongoing through here into southeastern parts of Texas. Now, there's going to be severe weather out here, like I said. Now, this is at noon, and this has already got rain changing to snow up here into the northern parts of Arkansas and the higher elevations. Do I believe that? I don't know at this time, but I think it's going to be mostly the rain. There's going to be some dry air to overcome at first, and that's what's going to help cool down the surface temperatures as this precipitation is falling. Okay, so here we are, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Now, you can see how heavy it's snowing through Oklahoma, parts of northern Texas here. And here comes this convectiveness and the thunderstorms just south of here. See where these basically almost supercells kind of out there by themselves. So that's going to be a very interesting day across the southern Gulf Coast here. And then you can see up here towards the Ouachita Mountains, see how the higher elevations are turning to snow. This is at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then higher terrain of Arkansas up here in the Boston Mountains, it's starting to snow. Now, I think some of this up here is going to be some sleet mixing in with rain and changing possibly to sleet for maybe an hour or so before it really transitions to snow. If, like I said, if you get heavy sleet for a period of time, and it's gonna mess those roads up pretty quickly. And then if we get heavy snow that transitions very quickly after that sleet, the roads are become trash pretty quickly. Okay. Now, let's keep going forward. Look at how fast it changes here. We go from basically a rain, heavy rain at that, possibly maybe even sleet across eastern Oklahoma to northwest Arkansas, into the Ouachitas as well. And then, bam, look at this. Within an hour, higher elevations, basically from Fayetteville over to the higher elevations, 2,000 feet up in Arkansas, changing over. The Ouachita Mountains down here changed over. You see where that river valley is, basically from Fort Smith down to Little Rock, and then heavy snows out here towards central Oklahoma into northern parts of Texas. Here's 5 o'clock. It's snowing basically northwest Arkansas. It's heavy, heavy snow. convective banding here. Look at this line of storms coming through. All this moisture is just feeding up into the system. And then here's 6 o'clock. See, the snow transitions very quickly. And this thing is so, that's what I like about this model. And I'm gonna zoom in on some of these areas here, but look at this wraparound snow starting to get on the western side of maybe Fort Worth. So like I said, you might see snow flying in Dallas and Fort Worth. The accumulations is questionable right now. Okay. So basically the Ozarks here are gonna get smashed starting about 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow. Very, very heavy snow. It's going to be, the flakes are going to be humongous. I don't think you understand. I can't wait to see some of these pictures or videos tomorrow. And please send those to us. I'm going to I'll post a thing in the morning, a little update, and then I'll ask who's seeing snow already. And then we'll send your pictures, videos, wherever you're from, so we can all share them together and see what's going on. Because there's going to be some people that don't get snow out of this, and they'd love to see that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. So 7 o'clock. Look at this. This very, very heavy snow. Northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, back into Oklahoma, approaching. Like I said, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Approaching the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. Okay, like I said, you can see flakes fly. Accumulation's questionable. Now, as you can see here, we got heavy. There's a band. There's going to be a band of as these thunderstorms come up and this low pressure comes across. This upper level low comes across. You got some big time. You might have some sleet mixed in with snow up here. Very heavy snow across northern Arkansas, southern Missouri. It could be blinding snows. It's going to be that heavy. You get some convective banding in there with some of these thunderstorms that are trying to get up in, pushing moisture up in here. Like I said, you could have some thunder snow, and you could have some major snowfall rates of 2 to possibly even 2.5 inches an hour or more. Just depends on where that band sets up. Okay. Now we go into 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now, what I'm concerned about, I've got a lot of people across central Arkansas like, hey, are we going to see snow? See what's happening here? You're going to get dry slotted. And that's my concern. That's why I basically took out the kind of accumulations out of Little Rock and pushed them just northwest of you because of this dry slot. It might snow for just a little bit, and then it's going to cut off. But up here in southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, back here in Oklahoma, it's going to snow basically almost the whole time. All right? And this thing just keeps on getting it. And you can see the snow going all the way up towards Missouri. Now let me go to the east here so you can see this. It's on the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go. All right. There we go. So here we go. This is 1 o'clock Saturday or Wednesday morning. It's 5 o'clock. Wednesday mornings just smacking St. Louis right in the face. Morning commute there is going to be horrible. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Now, I want to show you something. Just look at this. This is crazy to me because you can see where that river is. This is what borders Kentucky into Indiana, Illinois, into Ohio. And it just, the snow is trying to stay just on the other side of that river for this event. And very heavy snow at that too. That's going to basically transition up into very banding of snow, 4 to 8 inches, probably up through central, through basically Indianapolis, up to far northwestern part of Ohio. As you can see, there's nothing here. All right, in Kentucky and Tennessee. See what's happening here? Look at this. Low passes by, and then see you've got energy back in here and here, and some back in here as well. You're gonna get some snow showers and some snow squalls Wednesday night into Thursday across Kentucky, possibly into Tennessee, maybe even back even into Missouri, northern Arkansas, even. Okay, so there's that. So there's the timing. This is, I'm going to show you this, but I'm just going to warn you here. This is pretty. Hold on. Find the. All right, there we go. All right, so here is total snowfall. This is what it's thinking. 8 to 9 around Fayetteville, getting the higher elevations, probably 10 to 12. So that's 6 to 10 inches area that I have looking pretty good at the moment. And then 3 to 6 basically up here or more, up through Indiana, northwestern Ohio, southern Missouri or southern Illinois. Let's go east. Let's go west here. Go back to central. And you can see where those mountains are in the Ouachitas here, where there's going to be some heavier snows through this area. And then as you get towards central, basically north central Texas into southern Oklahoma, there's going to be some banding that throws back. So the accumulations that I have, you might get more, 20 miles either way of you might get, half that. So lots of details here. Temperatures up 1 or 2 degrees is going to make a heck of a difference. So I'm going to zoom in here because we have a lot of people that watch us out of Arkansas and Missouri. So here's you can see where that river valley is. You got basically 1 to 3, maybe a little bit more through there. You get into these mountains, 3 to 6 plus. Down here in the Ouachitas, you get up here to the Boston Mountains, they're going to get absolutely creamed. And especially up here in the higher elevations, up here towards West Plains, just north of there, I think Mountain View maybe, or Mountain Grove. They're like 1,800 feet, I believe, so they're going to get smashed as well. Springfield, this has it about 7 inches. Joplin, back here about 3 to 6 or so. Tulsa, about 3 to 6. So there's where we're at so far this evening. Let's put it back on the snowfall. All right, back on the snowfall accumulation. Like I said, the white is dusting to an inch or more, dusting to inch plus. I put the plus out there because if the temperatures are a little bit lower than what's forecasted, you're gonna get more. Okay. So there's going to be places that, let's say you live in a certain town. Well, let's say your temperatures come down just a little bit. Let's say you get 2 to 3 inches of snow, but you go 20, 30 miles away from you, it might be nothing. So it's going to be that fine line. Light blue here, 1 to 3 inches. Amarillo to just north Oklahoma City, back towards Kansas City, Quincy, Illinois, Peoria, Chicago, southeast corner Iowa, like about like Keokuk, Burlington, Mount Pleasant, stuff like that. So 1 to 3 there, 3 to 6 in the dark blue, where this banding is really going to set up, and then, like I said, the Ozarks just going to get absolutely just smashed, and that's why I just painted a 6 to 10 there in northern Arkansas into the Ozarks there, and then into the higher terrain of southern Missouri as well. Okay, then 3 to 6 basically all the way up through St. Louis, Indianapolis, and northwestern parts of Ohio. All right, there's where we're at. Thank you all for staying up with me and joining this live stream. I'm going to post this stuff again in the morning. I will post this on Facebook as well. This video be a live replay basically. So thank you all for joining me on YouTube. We've been having lots of reach problems on Facebook. So, like I said, we're just using YouTube as another avenue to communicate with you all because YouTube's very good at sending out notifications. Facebook will not send you notifications. And then as you're going through your feed on Facebook, you may or may not even see my posts. Okay? That's how bad Facebook's getting on their algorithms anymore. Unless it goes viral, and that's what I've been trying to tell you guys, to like the post, share the post, comment on the post as well, because more you guys do that, the more posts you may see in the future, okay? And that's what I've kind of been trying to test the last few months to see how I can get you the most information on Facebook, because it's been a struggle. That's out of my hands on Facebook. If you have issues with Facebook, I would suggest messaging them because that's out of my control. It's pretty frustrating when you guys like and share my page or a subscriber, and I'm sending you guys posts 2 to 3 times a day, and hardly anybody's seeing it. I have 117,000 followers on Facebook, and only about 1 or 2 thousand see the post at a time, and it's very frustrating. And I'm constantly getting messages of why aren't you posting anymore, or how come you're not posting this? I'm not seeing any of your posts. You guys, if you're not seeing my posts, especially daily, I've been posting 2 to 3 times daily, especially when big storms coming in. You need to search my page on Facebook if you're not seeing my post. I promise you, nothing's going away. We have been posting daily. Okay. All right. Have a good evening, everyone. Stay safe tomorrow. Severe weather along the Gulf Coast. Tornado outbreak possible. Plus very heavy bands of convective snow coming into the Ozarks and possibly even into Oklahoma and northern parts of Texas as well. So stay safe out there. If it starts snowing tomorrow, and those roads, just be careful. I'd stay in if I were you. Get hunker down, and this, like I said, this snow is going to be very wet. It's going to stick to everything, and it's going to be pretty. But if you get some heavy snow, try not to have a talk with your. If you know some elderly people, do not let them get out there and start shoveling because they're going to have health. They might have health issues because this snow is going to be so heavy. And that's why they call it a heart attack snow, because it puts a lot of strain on your heart shoveling snow of this magnitude and this heavy, wet snow. Good for snowmen, good for snowballs, just not so great for shoveling. Hopefully, some of you have a snowblower out there. Who knows? All right. Have a great evening, everyone. I will talk to you probably tomorrow evening. And probably throw up some live pictures of places so we can share what's going on. And then I'll have a post in the morning, just a brief update. But this is going to be the last snowfall accumulation. I'm not making any more. So, like I said, some places are going to bust. Some places are going to boom with this. Temperatures 1 degree either way are going to make a huge difference.